Around 1,300 children who entered the country illegally are housed at the Casa Padres Southwest Key shelter in Brownsville.
And Southwest Key officials say they want to partner with local school districts to educate the children while they wait to be reunited with their families. Channel 5's Daisy Martinez in Brownsville with the details.
By law, Southwest Key has to provide educational services for the children they house. School districts stand to benefit in additional funding for taking on those extra students. However, these partnerships may not be as easy as they sound. The Brownsville Independent School District and the Promesa Public Schools charter system have thrown their names in the hat. They want to take on the 1,300 students housed at Casa Padres Southwest Key shelter in Brownsville. They're asking to educate the children who entered the country illegally. By federal law, the children must have access to education while they await reunification with their families. Southwest Key Vice President of Education Services, Dr. Salvador Cavazos, says the organization is at liberty to choose who they want to educate the kids they house.
We have lots of criteria, but inclusive in the criteria is certified teachers in special education, certified teachers in bilingual ESL, and just in general certified teachers. We interview the teachers before they come into our shelters. There's a very expansive memorandum of understanding.
He says right now Southwest Key is awaiting response from the Texas Education Agency to decide if they will allow these partnerships. Both charter and public schools are considered public schools in funding and overseen by TEA. BISD Superintendent Dr. Esperanza Sendejas says she submitted a letter to TEA asking for direction on the issue. She says every child within BISD boundaries should have access to education.
BISD is a great school district. It offers services for special needs kids. It offers services for English learners. So when we have those services available, why not offer them?
She admits BISD also stands to gain if TEA gives the green light.
We would enroll these children under BISD attendance processes, and BISD would gain students.
More students translates to more funding for the district. Dr. Cavazos says the Office of Refugee and Resettlement Program under the Department of Health and Human Services is funding these educational needs. He explains a mix-up with Dr. Sendejas' letter initially resulted in a response from TEA informing BISD it is not in their jurisdiction to educate children at Southwest Key, but the federal government's instead. Right now, though, the TEA General Counsel is reviewing BISD and Promesas' proposals to provide education services.
We are still considering Brownsville as a provider of education services for shelters if they are willing and if they are given the permission from the agency.
Dr. Sendejas says she is awaiting on clarification, but the offer stands. Dr. Cavazos says Southwest Key worked with Harlingen for several years. A memorandum of understanding with that district shows that partnership has been in place since 2013. There is also now a memorandum with San Benito CISD. According to Cavazos, that will not be acted upon until the TEA Commission decides whether charter and public schools can educate undocumented children housed at these shelters. Dr. Cavazos says if the Texas Education Agency decides not to allow these partnerships, they still have the funding and the obligation to continue educating these students, and they will do so as they've done in the past 20 years. From Brownsville, Daisy Martinez, Channel 5 News at 6.